When we go on holiday, we all hope for a beautiful sunny time, but unfortunately, that's not always the case. However, in Tokyo, there are so many indoor attractions that you can enjoy. I'm Aimee from TokyoCheapo.
And I'm Yuta, and today we're going to discuss about what to do on a rainy day in Tokyo. So in Japan, as we know, there are 4 seasons. However, there's a hidden season called the rainy season. It usually starts towards the beginning of June to July, and then after that, we have the typhoon season. The typhoon season can last up to September or October, so just be wary about that.
Yep. Otherwise, you have got pretty good weather in winter and autumn, fairly clear days, but there can be some rainy days still. So let's get into the first thing on our list, which is indoor attractions and activities in Tokyo. Some of them, like Team Lab, you're going to have to book quite a few days in advance. So we're not officially including it in our list here, as for a last minute rainy day booking, you can't really do that for those ones. But on top of our list, we do have one that you can book online the day before, which is the Harry Potter Studio. This one is a great one for older people who grew up with Harry Potter like us, or for children as well. You can see things like Professor Dumbledore's office, the potion making class, Hagrid's house, and there's a gift shop at the end as well. The next one on our list is a little bit different. It is the Kewpie Mayo Factory. Do you like Kewpie mayo?
I love Kewpie mayo.
Who doesn't like Kewpie mayo? Honestly, the best mayo. And you can go to the factory and get a free tour. This one is a little bit further out of the city, and you do need to book the tour online before you go, but it's free. And you can do things like walk through a big Kewpie mayo bottle, you can hunt for all the little Kewpie around the factory, you get free products, and you learn about the process of how it's being made.
Next thing on the list is Sanrio Pure Land. This one's a little bit further away, but it is an interesting indoor attraction where you can find Hello Kitty and friends. If you're really into cutesy stuff and kawaii culture, this is definitely the place to go. Pure Land doesn't really have too many rides that you can get on, but there are a lot of parades that you can be a part of, and it's really cool for pictures. So the next one is the Snoopy Museum. For people that love old and classic cartoons like the Peanuts, this is definitely a place you should go to. This attraction is also a little bit further away, but it is definitely worth the trip if you like to see original artwork of Snoopy and just Snoopy in general.
There's even a massive Snoopy statue. It's like 8 meters or something, so
Goodness.
yeah. Definitely worth going.
Another well-known location in Tokyo is Odaiba. Everything in Odaiba seems very well connected to each other, and you can really just enjoy a whole day there. I feel like the biggest attraction right outside of the giant Gundam statue is Round 1. Round 1 is basically a giant arcade. You can pretty much spend your whole day there. It's pretty much located everywhere in Tokyo. However, this one's quite big and it's very easy to get to. Another place is Joy Palace. This is from the Sega company, and everything in the attraction uses state-of-the-art VR and also has escape rooms as well.
One other one that's nearby that is also good for a rainy day is Small Worlds. This one is basically a miniature museum, so they've got a whole bunch of different exhibits, and it's all these tiny little worlds. You can interact with them. It's a really good one, just like the character museums, for families and for kids. The next category that we have for you is museums. These ones are going to be good for adults as well as sometimes for families and children as well. At the top of our list, we have history museums, and the top one is Tokyo National Museum in Ueno. This one is really good because you're going to be able to see exhibits from Japan as well as other Asian countries, things like samurai swords and clothes, artwork and statues. And then right nearby, also in Ueno, you have the National Museum of Nature and Science. This one's really interesting because it features a lot of exhibits on Japan's natural science. So you're going to be able to see big displays of different animals and plants. This one's a really good one for families and kids.
So next one we have is art museums, and Tokyo is pretty popular for art exhibits. The main one that we have is called the Mori Art Museum. So this art museum usually only has temporary artworks, so depending on what time you come to Tokyo, things might be different, but it's always a fun time to go and check out artwork that you've never heard of or maybe you're familiar with.
But as Yuta said, there are so many art museums around Tokyo, things like the National Art Center, just honestly, so many. So we have an article exclusively about that you can check out if you'd like to specifically see art museums.
So the next one is, I would consider art because it is food. The art of cup noodles. So if you know what cup noodles are, there is actually a museum for it, and it is located in Yokohama. When you enter the museum, you can understand the history and the impact that cup noodle has had in Japan, and also at the very end, make your own custom cup ramen as well. So the next category is about shopping, and this in particular, we're gonna be talking about anime. So there are 3 main places in Japan where you can find anime-related goods. Number 1 is Akihabara, which is pretty much the symbol of anime. Everything you see in that area is going to be about anime, video games, anything like that. Next we have Ikebukuro, which is a little underappreciated. I think there's a lot of great things there you can find that is anime-related. We have the Pokemon store, the One Piece store. Then we have Nakano Broadway, which is more of like a retro town of Japan, and within that retro town, you can find a lot of cool vintage and collector item anime merch. So definitely go check those 3 cities out.
So next on the shopping list is souvenirs. A rainy day is the perfect day to go and buy some souvenirs. You've got all of the chain stores like Don Quixote, Daiso, Lost. You could honestly spend quite a few hours in just those stores looking for souvenirs. You've got ones like Akomeya, which has a little bit more traditional Japanese souvenirs. And we do have a Hidden Gems souvenirs video in the works as well, so subscribe and keep an eye out for that one as well. And then finally, if you are in places like Shinjuku or Shibuya, there are so many department stores that are underground and all connected, so they're a great place to go on a rainy day and honestly just spend the entire day underground.
Up next is themed cafes. There are quite a lot in Tokyo, and here are some of my personal favorites. We have Pan Pudding Cafe, which if you're into Sanrio stuff, you'll enjoy. Everything's all yellow, and the food is pretty decent as well. Next we have the Pokemon Sweets Cafe, which is Pokemon themed, and you can enjoy the food there and also take pictures, and it's a lot of fun. Another themed cafe is the Peanuts Cafe, and this one is pretty much attached to the Snoopy Museum that we mentioned earlier. And if you're into retro gaming like I am, the 8-Bit Cafe, located in Shinjuku, is definitely one you should go to play retro games. Also, we have the Tokyo Video Gamers Bar, which is located in Akihabara, and you can just play retro arcade cabinets and enjoy some craft beer as well. Another activity that we highly recommend is going to onsen.
There are a lot of facilities in Tokyo, both onsen and sento being that they don't actually use real hot spring water, but you can find ones that are both indoor and outdoor as well. And if you're a little bit unsure about the onsen etiquette, we have a video that you can go and watch that details all of that. But 3 of the ones that we have on our list is firstly a very new complex that opened in 2024. It's called Toyosu Sankyaku Bandai. This one is, as the name suggests, in Toyosu, and it's both a onsen complex as well as a shopping and restaurant complex, so it's themed in like Edo style. And the onsen itself, it has both indoor and outdoor onsen, and it even has a free foot bath on the 8th floor. You can look out over Tokyo Bay. And then 2 other ones that we do recommend is Shimizuyu, which is both in Musashi Koyama and Aoyama, and one to the north of Tokyo called Sayano Yurokoro. This one is actually one that you can kind of see a little bit of nature from the outdoor baths. It's a bit more local. We also have an onsen article, which you can go and check out for like a really big, long list of all the different onsen in Tokyo. Next on the list is one that's really good for the adults out there, and it is sake. Do you like sake?
Not really, actually. Like, not really.
Oh, really?
I like lemon sours.
Ah, okay. Well, this one's not for you, but for everyone out there who wants to try some sake, then there are a couple of places you can do that are centrally located in Tokyo. We have Meshi Center as well as the Japan Shochu and Sake Information Center. At both of these ones, you can try sake tasting. They've got like over 100 bottles that you can try. At the Information Center, you can also see things like the tools and the ingredients that they use to prepare sake. But also, if you're feeling up for it, you can go quite further out into Tokyo to some breweries.
So the 2 breweries is Ishikawa Brewery and the Ozawa Brewery. These 2 breweries are pretty interesting because you can have a whole tour of how they make the sake. And not only that it is educational, it's also very tasty.
Yeah, you can do some sampling after as well. And again, as we said, this one's further out, but you can make a nice day trip out of it on a rainy day.
So when you're coming to Tokyo and it starts raining, just don't panic. There's a lot of stuff to do in Tokyo, and hopefully this video has helped you out a lot.
Yeah, and do leave a comment down below if you have some other suggestions for places you could go on a rainy day. And thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.